As you guys may not know, or you may know since most of you guys on YouTube don't live under a rock, Apple is going to announce a new, smaller iPhone on March the 15th, I believe. So they're going to have a keynote, and they're going to be announcing that, as well as another iPad, and I believe maybe another Mac. But the reason I'm here today is because I want to talk about this new, smaller iPhone. And what I want to talk about, is this device going to be something that's going to be a big seller, or is it just going to be for a smaller target audience? Since most of us today are pretty much used to a larger, maybe like a 4.7-inch screen, or like myself, I have a iPhone 6 Plus, and that's what I'm used to. So there's no way in hell I could go back to a 4-inch screen for that matter. So let's get into it, and I'll give you my points, and you can decide if this device is for you. So the first question is why is Apple actually, I guess, updating the iPhone 5S? And the question is, or I think the answer is that a lot of us don't have big hands like myself, and it's really difficult to maneuver through the phone with someone who has smaller hands. Normally, if you do have a larger phone with smaller hands, you actually have to use two hands to get things done. One of the things I do miss from the 5S is I could I could still do it on the 6 Plus, but it's not as easy. I can actually send a text message with just one hand. I can just use my thumb to pound that text message out. But I think the big reason is they're just targeting that audience for people who want a smaller phone, and particularly I think it's because they have smaller hands. And lastly, maybe it's something that you want to make as portable as possible. If you're a businessman, or if you're someone, maybe like females who have smaller pockets than us guys, and you want to just put it in your pocket, I think this would be a great option for for Apple to announce. But I think they're calling now is the iPhone SE, so they might be dropping off the 5. But all right, let's move on. So one of the things I was really thinking about is the fact that you really got to ask yourself the question. Like myself, I can't see worth a damn, so a larger screen is definitely something I'm looking for. But if you can't see and you have small hands, which one do you go with? My bet is going to be you're going to go with the larger screen. And it really had me thinking, who the heck is this phone for? And I really boiled it down to it's going to be a majority for females, because some females, or most females, have smaller hands. And it's going to be for maybe a younger group of a female, because as you guys know, the older you get, the worse your eyesight gets. So I think with those two aspects, I think if you can't see, you're going to go with a larger screen. And I think that's the reason why the 6 Plus has been so popular, because people have trouble seeing, or like myself, you have big hands, and a big phone wouldn't really make a big difference for that matter. I have seen some really weird things when it comes to people using smaller phones, is they're increasing the font, which kind of works, but what I've seen is when people actually increase the font, it really cuts off a lot of information when it relates to text, sort of like maybe your address book. So, I mean, I don't know. I think a 4-inch screen is just going to be for a very small target audience, and I think it's going to be successful. As you guys know, they're still selling the iPhone 5S, so I think it's going to be successful, and I think it's going to be something that is going to allow people to actually choose between 3 different models: the SE, the 6 or the 7, and then the 6 or 7 Plus. So you'll be able to choose, and you pick the one that's exactly right for you. So I don't want to dog out the smaller screen, because like I mentioned, it does have some benefits. Some of the benefits, like I mentioned before, is the one-hand usage, fits in your pocket really easy. And also, if you're someone who works out and you use one of those armbands, it's definitely something that would work out for you in terms of getting that armband in and plugging a pair of your headphones in and getting your workout on. So there's definitely some benefits there. As we know, the 5S is still generating revenue for Apple. And the question that I think most people are asking, so what's the problem? I think the problem is that it doesn't have all the features that the most up-to-date phones have. Some of those features being, I guess one of the features being NFC, so you can enable Apple Pay. I think that's something that Apple's really been pushing hard, and they want to make sure that it really works with all their devices, even with their smaller 4-inch entry-level iPhone. Also, some additional features that you're going to see is a better camera. I'm guessing up front and around back, faster processor, and hopefully a larger battery. That's one of the issues I had, was the battery on the iPhone 5S was just terrible for what I use my device for, which was mainly watching videos and listening to music. So I was the media consumer, and I did not a lot of social networking, but I did do some social networking with Facebook and Twitter and GroupMe. Excuse me, not GroupMe, Google Plus. Actually, I do use GroupMe as well, but I don't use it as much as those other social networking. So hopefully a bigger battery when it does launch. All right, so what direction do I think we're going? Like I mentioned, I think we're going to see a 3-tier flagship. Like I mentioned, the SE, the 6 or 7, and the 7 or 6 Plus. So that's the 7, which is going to come out later this year. If you look at Apple's tablet lineup, there's also a 3-tier flagship. You have the Mini, the iPad Air 2, and then you have the Pro. So I won't be surprised if we see the same thing. The thing is, I wish we could do is just launch all 3 of them at the same time. I think that would make things more streamlined for Apple, as opposed to launching these devices at separate times, just to make sure that everyone understands that all 3 of these devices are available, and there's no staggering in terms of the launch dates. All right, so pretty much in conclusion, just wanted to wrap things up. We talked about the eyesight versus the small hands, and we also talked about what solutions the actual 5 SE is going to have compared to the larger screen. And lastly, we did mention the direction that I think that Apple is going with the 3-tier flagship. And lastly, the iPhone 5S is alive and well, and people are still purchasing the device. And I think we're just looking for Apple to add some additional features like Apple Pay. So that's really going to do it. I really appreciate you guys watching. And if you like the video, please leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you're going to pick up, or do you think this is going to be a flop, which we saw with the 5C? But leave the comments below. If you like the video, why don't you subscribe so you get some more videos from THCat. Other than that, you guys take it easy. I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate your support. You guys take it easy. Bye-bye.